Since it's very rare to obtain a pure Dharma, since it's very, very rare to hear the real Dharma, and the Dharma that's unfiltered, unmotivated, for those who are listening and for those who are speaking about the Dharma, this interaction is extremely rare. Most of our lives, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, taken up with mundane affairs of eating and sleeping and making money and cohabitations and relationships and all things involved with those four aspects. We take our lives, we take our energy, we take our time, it takes our mind, it takes our full concentration. So at the end of the day, at the end of our life, when we look back, it actually amounted to nothing much. And people without much wisdom will always think, oh, I leave behind 2 kids, 3 kids, 10 kids, whatever, or I leave behind this house, I leave behind this museum, I leave behind this monument, I leave behind this palace, I leave behind this insurance. But actually, they don't know any better. They don't understand any better. So for them, leaving those things behind seems to be something of great accomplishment in their life. In actuality, it's not an accomplishment at all. Not at all. Why? Because those things have no lasting value, no permanency. They bring no happiness or permanency to others or oneself on an ultimate level, and which is continuous. Ultimate meaning continuous, that it always brings happiness. In fact, inheritances can bring about even more suffering and disharmony within families in most cases. So to gather together to have the Dharma, to hear the Dharma, takes incredible amount of merits and good aspiration and good prayers for many, many lifetimes. And to have a very good relationship with one's spiritual teacher on a continuous basis is extremely rare because when we listen to the Dharma directly from the teacher's mouth, we get the oral transmission, we get the oral blessings that come from our teacher, from his teacher, from his teacher, from his teacher, from his teacher, all the way back to the source of the teachings, which originally comes from one of the greats of the past, either one of the Yidams who have visions, present visions to the Mahasiddhas and the Lamas, or one of the great personalities like Atija or Lama Tsongkhapa, or like Guru Rinpoche, or stemming back to even the great Lord Shakyamuni himself. So to receive teachings directly from the Lama, you get an oral transmission, which is very different than if you listen to on tape or you read from a book. Reading from a book, listening on tape is wonderful, and in some cases you can gain some kind of understanding and perhaps some realizations. But in most cases, deep realizations are pretty much impossible without oral transmission. The reason why we value our teacher, the reason why we value the Lama or the Guru or our spiritual mentor, whatever you like to call it, is because the spiritual teacher or mentor can give us Dharma. Can give us Dharma that actually, if applied, can eradicate a lot of unhappiness and suffering in our life. And when we are with our teachers, how much problems do we make for ourselves? Even with teachings, with guidance, with help, with understanding, with love, with care, with assistance, with finances, with opportunities, how much has our teacher given us? Even with those opportunities, still, how much trouble and how much problems do we make for ourselves? So, if it's like that, with guidance, with wisdom, imagine without. So when we attend the Dharma talks, we should feel extremely happy and rejoice and feel we're extremely lucky to get wisdom that can give us knowledge that can be applied to make a difference in our lives, in the lives of people we love, and in lives of all others depending on our motivation. And the benefits we can give ourselves, the people we love, and all others depending on motivation is lasting, is permanent, and it doesn't arise from something negative. Therefore, coming to a Dharma talk, we should be very happy, we should be very excited. We should not be preoccupied with the place, the timing, the group, or anything extracurricular. Why? We should realize the importance. If through every single Dharma talk we do not concentrate, we can see that how many months, how many days, how many weeks pass, yet our knowledge of the Dharma is very, very small and very, very little. Why? Very simple, our concentration is not there. Why? We don't know the importance. Why? We're so focused on very ordinary aspects in our life. So during Dharma talks, we should be alert and attentive, free of the faults such as illustrated in the 3 pots. The pot that's facing down, therefore the teachings cannot go in, it's closed. That is likened to someone whose mind is blank, is not focusing, or is asleep. The second pot is a pot that has holes. And when you pour things into this pot, although the item you're pouring is excellent and wonderful and very nourishing, because the pot has holes, then the item cannot be contained in the pot and it falls away, it falls down from below. So that is likened to someone whose mind is not concentrating, whose mind is not here for the Dharma, whose mind is actually somewhere else. And then the third pot is the pot that's up without holes but has poison inside. So when you pour things into this pot, what happens is, although the pot is perfect, the item going in is clean and nutritious, but because of the poison, it becomes non-nutritious. You cannot drink it, you cannot partake. Why? That is likened to someone who comes to teachings with a wrong motivation, for praise, to look good, to get information to make more money, or to get information to get power, or to simply attend because of other ill motivations, such as they're just simply it's a social event, some gathering, anything of a motivation that does not allow the teachings to go inside their minds. So when we attend Dharma talks, we should be free of the 3 faulty pots. The pot that is down, the pot is up with holes, and the pot that is up but with poison. So that says clearly in the Lamrim by His Holiness Kajip Pabong Pudo Chang, as spoken by the great king of Dharma Lama Tsongkhapa, and he reiterated what the great master from Bengal, Atisha, originally wrote in the path to the Bodhi mind, or the path that achieves the Bodhi mind, which is the Lamrim originally written by the great Bengali master, Atisha. So even the source of the teaching, of the motivation of receiving teachings and giving teachings, both by teacher and students, that has a lineage and that stems from the great Bengali master, Atisha. So we should think very carefully. I will focus, I will concentrate. I will let go of my anger, my hatred, my sleepiness, my laziness, my inability to concentrate. I will let go because those are not qualities that are part of me. Those are qualities that can be removed from myself. So anger, hatred, fear, ego, sloppiness, laziness, sleepiness, all these qualities are actually obstacles during a Dharma talk. If we observe during a Dharma talk, are we alert or sleepy or unaware? If we are sleepy and unaware, then we must be sleepy and unaware always through all events. If we are always sleepy and unalert through all events, it means that it's something of our mind that has to be removed, but it's deeper. If we're only sleepy during positive events, things that can benefit us on the long term, it means that it is an obstacle. And if we have obstacles to receive Dharma or doing the Dharma, it is imperative that we do purification practices. Imperative to do purification practices that remove those obstacles, because those obstacles will increase into other areas of our life. Similarly, for the teacher must teach, elucidate the Dharma from something that is a correct source, that has a lineage, that is not motivated by fame, praise, money, material gifts, or to get something in return. That is free from the 8 worldly dharmas. The teacher must give on that kind of condition the Dharma. If that is done by student and teacher alike, it is a blessed event, it is a holy event. It is holy because it's different from ordinary events that we attend due to the fact that the information passed and shared leads to permanent happiness and permanent freedom from suffering. So it makes it holy. Not suffering is holy. Suffering is ordinary. Our life is filled with suffering, whether we know it or not. Suffering of knowing we're suffering and the suffering of not knowing we're suffering. Therefore, it is a holy event because it is something shared that leads to eventual eradication, destruction of suffering, and permanent happiness.